As you take a look at the leaderboard, Rory wins by one shot over Sung Jae Im and Scottie Scheffler. Scottie Scheffler carding a 3 over 73 in the final round. He entered round 4 with a 6-shot lead and just crumbled. And Rory roared back. You consider he had a triple on the first hole of the tournament, a la Tom Kim, who had a quadruple bogey on his way to winning the Wyndham Championship, his first PGA Tour victory. That's what he said he was thinking about. Rory, that's what he said. He was thinking about that Tom Kim situation that came back and won, and now Rory does it himself, coming back from 6 shots down in the final round to win his FedEx Cup trophy for the 3rd time in his career. And you consider Scottie Scheffler was a minus 600 favorite coming into the final round, and he gets upset by Rory McIlroy. Really, the final round was sort of what this whole entire season of golf has been. It's been chaos, and it was a representative of what we have seen, what we have witnessed all year long on the PGA Tour. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Welcome in CBS Sports HQ golf analyst Kyle Porter. The largest final round comeback in Tour Championship history. Rory roars back from 6 shots down. Your reaction is what?
Well, it was a fitting end to the season, Hakeem. You know, it was Rory all year, not so much on the course, although he won 3 times, including the CJ Cup, Canadian Open, and obviously this tournament, and finished in the top 8 at all 4 majors. But mostly it was off the course. You know, the sort of stance and position and leadership that Rory took on to really push the PGA Tour into the future was a big deal. You know, you talk to other players, you talk to people inside of golf. This could have gone a different way, you know, for if Rory goes to live, if Rory chooses to do something else. You know, other players talk about, hey, we do what Rory does. We do what Jordan Spieth does, because those guys are kind of the leaders of the tour. So all that being said, I thought it was a very fitting way for Rory McIlroy to become a Super Bowl champion, as he kind of joked about it, to start the FedEx Cup playoffs for the 3rd time in his career, to surpass the guy that he kind of teamed up with, Tiger Woods, to push the PGA Tour into the future in FedEx Cup championships. He's made $50 million in the FedEx Cup alone over the course of his career. And really, I think, Hakeem, he had a better year statistically than maybe his win total would suggest. So I thought it was kind of a fitting way for the PGA Tour season to be capped off by Rory winning the Tour Championship.
Yeah, and he hit some big shots in this final round, as you would have to win the Tour Championship and ultimately the FedEx Cup trophy and the $18 million. Take you back to 15, the 31-foot putt for birdie, buries that. And then on 16, he's in the gallery and he's able to get out of there and save par. What did you see on those 2 holes down the stretch?
Yeah, 15-16 was an inflection point in the golf tournament. I thought 15 was representative of Rory's year, and this has been his best putting year on the PGA Tour ever, Hakeem. He's gaining almost a half stroke around with the putter, which is, you know, I think he's probably a little bit better putter than people would imagine, but this was easily his best season ever with the putter on the PGA Tour, and it showed this week. He was really good, not just on Sunday. You'll see the putt here. This is a ridiculous putt. It was kind of a safety shot off the tee, and he goes off and makes it, and you kind of get the roar there. So, again, that showed kind of the putter skills that he has, and then this is the shot on 16. This got a little bit lucky in that it hit the stick right here and bounced away, but still to make the putt. It was weird, I think, Hakeem, so many times over the course of his career, we've watched Rory and maybe not been confident about a 4-footer or a 5-footer. You were looking at 9, 10, 11-footers here, and it was like, this is going in. That's how good he was, I thought, with the putter throughout, kind of the weekend and really throughout the week here at the Tour Championship. So that was a big par save to put him up ahead of Scheffler, and then it never really got close after that. There's only a couple holes left. He didn't relinquish that lead, and Scheffler didn't really, make a good run at pushing him over the last 2 holes.
You know what I love? The fact that he said he was motivated by Tom Kim. You remember back that you and I talked about that. We were covering that whole weekend. He had the quadruple bogey to start his first hole of the event, comes back to win the event, gets into the FedEx Cup playoffs, And then it's Rory McIlroy who says he was motivated by that after his triple-on-one to start this event, and he comes back to win. I mean, the storyline and the emotion, again, I've said this to you, and sometimes we're prisoners of the moment, but this season, with all that has gone on, has been by far one of my favorite seasons that I have witnessed and watched and been able to cover from this very seat, because it has been incredible.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Rory, you know, I think when you talk to him, when you talk about golf with him, he's kind of a sicko. There's some guys, Hakeem, that don't even know who Tom Kim is. I'm exaggerating. There's not many guys on the tour or in golf that don't know who Tom Kim is, but Rory's watching the Wyndham Championship. Rory's watching events in January and February and December. He has a very, I think, keen sense of history, of the moment, of all these things. And I think we've seen that play out in the way he's kind of handled everything in professional golf this year. So it's not super, I mean, it's cool, I think, that you would reference Tom Kim, but it's also not super surprising. But again, it speaks to golf has been, you know, I wrote the book last year, Normal Sport. It's been even crazier this year, I think, to your point, than ever before, because of everything that's gone on with LIV, because of everything that's gone on with the PGA Tour, all the kind of new blood entering the PGA Tour. Scheffler trying to win 5 times. The majors were insane. So it really has been one of the more extraordinary and I think fun, interesting years, as long as you're okay with a little bit of drama ever on the PGA Tour and in professional golf.
I love chaos. This season has been incredible with the guys coming back from 7 shots down, Sam Burns, Justin Thomas. I mean, some of these guys that are winning on tour for the first time. But Rory McIlroy has really evolved here in his career, right? He's become this gatekeeper, this shepherd, if you will, and now trying to protect guys. And this is really cool to see him win. Unfortunately, it's tough to see Scottie Scheffler lose because it was a dream season for him. 4 wins, a breakout year, wins the Masters. And you look at him coming into this final round, birdied 4 of his remaining 6 holes on Sunday to take a 6-stroke lead before starting the 4th round, the largest lead after any round since starting strokes began in 2019. I mean, I was thinking this final round was going to be a coronation for Scottie Scheffler. Instead, it was chaos. What the heck happened?
Well, he was obviously not very good. You know, he lost, I've got it right here, he lost a stroke overall in the event with his putter per round, but then in the final round, it was just his approach shots. He didn't hit any greens. He lost, looks like over 2.5 strokes on approach shots and just put himself in bad positions. You can't go out. I mean, he shot the worst round of the day on Sunday, Hakeem. He was +3. Colin Morikawa and Scott Stallings were also +3, and you just can't do that from that position. He put himself into trouble early. You see the 3 early bogeys there, and it got, you know, when Rory's playing pretty well, he gets things going in the wrong direction if you're Scottie Scheffler both ways. You're playing bad and Rory's playing well, and it's tough to stop Rory going downhill. Scheffler just didn't have it on Sunday. I hesitate to say that that is a result of, you know, him choking or anything like that, because we've seen, you know, he gets it done at the Masters, which is an even bigger stage. He gets it done at the Phoenix Open, Arnold Palmer Invitational. This, to me, would have been kind of the perfect cap to his year to win, you know, what would have been $32 million on the season, the most money ever on the PGA Tour, to win 5 times. Nobody's done that since Justin Thomas in 2017. So, yes, it was disappointing for him to go shoot 73 on Sunday, and he didn't have it. I mean, he just didn't have anything. He was missing off the tee, and then he was compounding that with a lot of the shots that the approach shots that he was hitting, just short-sighting himself over and over again, and unable to, you can't score at a place like East Lake when you're doing that. And that ultimately, I think, was what undid him playing with Rory in the final round there.
Yeah, and to put it in perspective, I mean, we're talking about an $11 million difference from first and second place. I mean, that's a whole heck of a lot of money for you and me. That's a whole heck of a lot of money for a PGA Tour player. And we know what Scottie Scheffler has said, that he just loves to get out there and play. And he talked about, you know, deflecting the LIV attention, saying, I don't need all this money. And I know that that's not the most important thing for some of these guys, but that's a big loss when you talk about double figures losing this event. When you look at Scottie Scheffler's season as a whole, 26-year-old, a rising star in this game, how does he bounce back from something like this? Because this is a core memory for him going into next year.
Yeah, it is. But I think there's other core memories that overshadow it, right? I mean, you think about, again, winning the Masters, Arnold Palmer, Phoenix Open. He's been number one in the world for 22 straight weeks. That's going to extend into the fall. It'll probably be at least 25, maybe 30 straight weeks where he's number one in the world. It's interesting, Hakeem. I was just thinking about this. It reminds me a little bit. You and I were sitting here, what was that, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Tiger and Rory in the final round at the Tour Championship. Rory shot, I think he shot 74 that day or 73, something like that. Tiger goes on to win right next to him. And it was just a horrible performance from Rory McIlroy. I mean, it was just bad. Like, he was just not very good on that day. The very next spring, he goes on to win the Players' Championship, starts playing some of the better golf. I think he won the Canadian Open that summer as well, starts playing some of the better golf of his career. So I do think that, guys like Scheffler, when you have the built-up confidence of winning 4 times, including a major championship, he almost won the U.S. Open as well, and having the kind of year he had, do you let one round kind of overshadow the rest of that stuff? I don't think he will. I think he's very good at kind of that Dustin Johnson like mentality of saying, hey, it was one round, I'm over it, I'm moving on, I'm bouncing back, I'm going to win the Players' Championship next year, I want to add another major championship to my total, whatever it ends up being. I think Scottie Scheffler is going to be a top 5, top 10 player in the world for a long time.
Yeah, heck of a season for Scottie Scheffler. Unfortunately, doesn't end with a FedEx Cup trophy. Kyle, you were at all 4 majors this year. Some incredible moments you witnessed at the U.S. Open, the Masters, the Open Championship, the PGA. What's your top moment from the PGA Tour season?
Yeah, this was a tough call because you think about, Scheffler at the Masters, even Rory's 64 on Sunday at the Masters. The U.S. Open was amazing. The playoff, the PGA Championship was amazing. But I'm going to go with the Open Championship, and it wasn't even the winner, even though Cam Smith was awesome. Rory was amazing for, the first 3.5 days of that event. But it's Tiger walking over the Swilcan Bridge. That was a very, it was a moment, Hakeem, that you're like, I can't believe this is like actually happening in reality. And I'm somewhere in that shot right there amongst the thousands of people watching it happen. Rory hat tipped him as he was going down 1, and Tiger's coming up 18. And just I think how much St. Andrews has meant to the sport of golf. And in a year where we're trying to figure out what does matter in the sport of golf, is it money? Is it championships? Is it history? Is it players? I thought Tiger walking over that bridge and coming up 18 at the Old Course was, to me, kind of the top, like the most emblematic thing that happened in golf in 22. And for what most people in the game want the sport to continue to be over the next several decades.
Look, I know that this next question is a bit loaded, and we could probably spend 20 to 25 minutes, maybe even more, on the First Cut podcast discussing. Where do you think the game is right now? Do you think it's in a good spot considering how it ended with Rory McIlroy winning the FedEx Cup Championship?
I do think it's in a good spot. I think it's fractured, which I don't think is good. But I will say this, Hakeem, I have not been, with the PGA Tour's announcement this week that all the top players are going to play in at least 12 PGA Tour events, not including the Players' Championship, so 13, and then you throw in the 4 majors, and we get all these guys in really contextualized places like TPC Sawgrass and maybe Phoenix or maybe Torrey. Bay Hill is going to be one of the elevated events. To have all the top guys in those tournaments, that really juices me up. That really excites me. And I don't know that we've had that sort of uniformity, unanimity. I don't even know what I'm going for there, but going into a golf year. And yes, LIV has taken away from what the PGA Tour offers. And the sport has been fractured and probably will continue to be as more names are announced on Monday and beyond that, with some of maybe, Cam Smith is, I think, probably going to LIV Golf, and that's a big blow to the PGA Tour. But I think, more excited about the following year after the Tour Championship than I've ever been since I've been covering golf for CBS for the last 10 years.
Well, it's been a heck of a season. It's capped off by Rory McIlroy coming back from 6 shots back to win the FedEx Cup Championship. Kyle, great job all season covering every event, and we appreciate all of the post-game and the post-round analysis here on CBS Sports HQ. And, of course, you can catch more from Kyle Porter on the First Cut podcast, part of the cavalcade of stars that make up the First Cut podcast hosted by Rick Gehman. You'll get tournament previews, including DFS picks and analysis. You'll also get round-by-round reaction to each PGA Tour event. The First Cut podcast, download and subscribe today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.